What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. So today I'm doing a video. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's my top 20 favorite cards in my collection, and something that I've been wanting to do. What really kind of sparked this was I got a card today that I think now is my favorite card in my collection. So you guys will want to stick around for number one. I actually put it at number one. It is my new favorite card in my collection. Of course, in a couple of weeks, it may not be my favorite card in my collection, but right now, it is the most breathtakingly beautiful card I've ever seen, and you guys will want to stick around for the number one card, so it's worth the price of admission. Before I get into that, I just wanted to mention, I mentioned in a post to a lot of you guys, after 25 years, and a lot of you guys won't care about this, but you guys know that I play my song that I did when I was in college, basically. 25 years ago, a song called Always On You with a band with my brother. He was the guitarist, I was the singer, and then two of my really good, close high school friends that were the bassist and the drummer in a band called The Peak. And through the beauties of technology, I was able to take the songs that we recorded in a studio, and my brother and I did a bunch of acoustic songs, and I was able to use a distribution site called TuneCore and put it onto Spotify, put it onto iTunes, put it onto Apple Music, even on YouTube. If you dig deep enough onto YouTube, you might actually find the music. So I will put all the links below. If any of you guys are interested in hearing the music that I did when I was in college, some of it's, I think, pretty decent. And I've always really liked some of it's all original music, and it's me singing on every single one of the songs. So if you want to check it out, please just look at the links below and download some of the songs. But without further ado, just a couple of honorable mentions before I get to my top 20. Of course, had to put as an honorable mention, my favorite custom card that was ever created. This was a couple years ago in Chicago. PSA booth actually did this card. I think it's just fantastic. It's me, of course, a throwback to the Honus Wagner card, and you can see it in the background there. But I love this card, this Honus Wagner custom card. I highly recommend, you can go on Topps' website and create a custom card, but this was really cool when they did this at the 2019 National in Chicago. And unfortunately, they did not do it this year. I did get 2 digital cards done, but unfortunately, there were no cards that you could do and then get a copy of that card like I was able to do at the National in Chicago in 2019. Another honorable mention, and this isn't really a card, but I've explained the story on my channel. My dad, who's been on this channel a couple of times, met Joe DiMaggio at a restaurant. He actually walked over to him, and here is the original autograph. So he walked over to Joe DiMaggio and got him to sign this. It's actually the back of a photograph of me as a kid. So that's actually me right there. And had Joe DiMaggio sign it. It says, best wishes to Matthew and Joey. I am Joey, and Matthew is my brother, Joe DiMaggio. And it was smeared after my dad put it in his pocket, and they realized it was all smeared. So he actually went over to DiMaggio again and had him sign an index card. I believe that's what this is. And then later on, I got it authenticated by PSA DNA, and just absolutely love this autograph. So I wanted to get that in my honorable mentions, even though it's not technically a card. At number 20, so I wanted to get an oversized card in here. I really like oversized cards, and it all started with this 1964 Topps Giants Clemente. Sent this again at that National in Chicago in 2019. Picked this card up and the mantle from the 1964 Topps Giants, ungraded, but just love this card. It is absolutely beautiful, and sent it off to PSA. This Clemente came back as a PSA 8. Since then, because of I really enjoyed this card, I went on to buy the 1985 Nike Jordan card. I've bought the Lou Alcindor rookie. I really would love to get the Joe Namath rookie, but I'll have to wait after I bought the card I'm about to show you guys at number 1. So that's at number 20. All right, at number 19 is this beautiful card, the 87 Topps Tiffany Bo Jackson. I don't know about you guys, but to me, this is one of the most beautiful cards of all time, and just a huge fan of 80s cards in general, but the 87 Topps Tiffany Bo Jackson Future Stars card, for me, is one of the greatest cards of all time. I could totally see the 87 Don Russ is a great card. The 87 Fleer Bo Jackson card is a great card, and then even the 86 Topps Bo Jackson. But for me, I got to go with the Topps card. And then, of course, if you're going to get this card, go for the Tiffany, because then you get the glossy finish. And then look at the back of this card. So, I don't know. For me, I had to put this in my top 20. And, of course, this Future Stars here is just such a iconic logo there. At number 18 is, I had to put this Thurman Munson. I love the 1971 Topps set, but even more specifically, this Thurman Munson. It is such a cool card. And top 20 in my collection for sure. So there it is, the Thurman Munson, a second-year card, not a rookie card. At number 17 is, so this card may be a little bit of a surprise that it's on this list. This is the 1950 Bowman Ted Gray. And to be honest with you guys, this is the card that really got me into vintage. That's the reason why it made it onto my list is sort of the meaning behind it. I remember getting this card as a kid and just being like, how cool is this card from 1950? And look at the condition on it. It is a beauty. And so ever since I got this card when I was a kid, I was like, man, I got to pick up some more vintage. So it has a meaning for me from that perspective. But beautiful card there, a BVG 8, 1950 Ted Gray. Of course, when I got it, when I was younger, it was not graded. And when I got back into collecting about 7 years ago, this was one of the first cards that I submitted off to grading and got it BVG graded. I probably should have got it PSA or SGC graded, but I got it BVG graded. All right, we are at number 16. Ted Williams. So you guys are probably surprised to see this. As a Yankee fan, like, why would a Ted Williams card be on my top 20 list? And for me, it is because as a kid, one of the funniest things, like, I'd love to hear you guys talk about this in the comments. I don't know if you guys have friends that are not collectors, but if you tell them that you collect baseball cards or sports cards or whatever, for some reason, the only question that they ever seem to ask you is, what is your best card? I don't know if you guys ever get that question from, your friends that don't collect. And so when I was younger, friends would always be like, what is your best card in your collection? And I would always say to them, my 1955 Topps Ted Williams is the best card in my collection, the most valuable card in my collection. Now it's probably not even a top 100 card. But of course, the fact that it was my top card for so long, all throughout my childhood into college, I would always say my Ted Williams is my top card. Of course, it is way off center. It is really OC, and it came back as a 3.5, along with this Ted Gray. They were both sent off in my first ever submission to get grading, and this one came back as a 3.5, but it has a lot of sentimental value. At number 15, I ended up going with two cards. I just couldn't pick which one to pick. So Aaron Judge is my current favorite player in baseball. Love both of these cards, the 2013 Bowman Chrome Auto and the 2017 Topps Chrome Sapphire Edition. I just could not decide which one I wanted to put in my top 20, so I just put them both at 15. Just love Aaron Judge. The Yankees better figure out a way to sign my favorite player and make him the captain of the Yankees. And I'm sure the Yankees are waiting to get that long-term extension with Aaron Judge before they make him the captain, because he absolutely deserves it. All right, at number 14 is this Roberto Clemente card. This is a card that I just picked up recently from a local show, and I love the 56 top set. And that is going to be a common theme throughout the video, so maybe a little teaser for what's about to come. But I just, I saw this card at the show and absolutely loved it. And look at this card. Look at the centering on this card. Such a beautiful card, the 56 Topps Clemente, and I just had to put it as a top 20 favorite card of all time. At number 13 is going to be this T206 Walter Johnson. Of course, you guys, if you watch my channel, you've seen these cards before, and it's probably no surprise that some of my best cards, if I paid big money for them, of course they're going to end up on this list. That's why I bought them, because I loved them so much. This is my favorite T206 card that I have, the Walter Johnson. I just love this portrait card. Really nice centering, and just such a cool card of the greatest pitcher of all time. At number 12 is the Mickey Mantle, the 51 Bowman Mickey Mantle. I kind of went back and forth on this card. I wasn't sure if I wanted to have it even in my top 20, but it is such a beautiful card. This is obviously his rookie card. I have, the reason why I was debating is I have the 52 Bowman Mickey Mantle, which is just as nice looking, but for some reason I just keep going back to the rookie card. Just love this. It's a little off center, obviously, from top to bottom, but just really love it. And it's one of those cards that growing up was, just kind of a dream card, and the fact that it's in my collection is just awesome. At number 11 is this Jackie Robinson, the 49 Bowman Jackie Robinson. A couple of years ago, I had posted a question of like what you think my favorite pickup was of the year, and resoundingly everyone said the 49 Bowman Jackie Robinson that I picked up was the favorite card that I picked up that year, and totally agree with them. I think it was a fantastic choice, and a reason why it is a top 20 favorite card of all time for me in my collection. Look at that. Just such a beautiful card. All right, at number 10 is the Pee Wee Reese card. And of course, not only is this card just one of the most beautiful cards of all time, but of course now has a little bit of sentimental value because it is the big card that I picked up at the National in Chicago this year, the 53 Bowman Pee Wee Reese in a PSA 8. Look at that card. I mean, it looks like a painting that you would hang up on a wall, and one of those cards that'll be interesting to see if it gets more popular over time. At number 9, of course, you guys know that Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, Donald Arthur Mattingly from Evansville, Indiana, is going to be on my list. And I decided to put this at, I think I'm at number 9. Donnie Baseball is just my favorite player of all time. And here is the card that I had growing up. And then, of course, in a couple of years ago, I was like, well, now I got to get it in a PSA 10. Of course I have to. So here are my two 84 Donnie Baseball, 84 Donruss, Don Mattingly cards. At number 7 is this Babe Ruth, the 48-49 Leaf Babe Ruth. I mean, this is such a gorgeous card. The fact that I was able to pick up a Babe Ruth that looks like it could be a PSA 10 or an SGC 10. I don't even know why it's not a 10. It's a 6 for whatever reason. And here is the back, a 48 Leaf Babe Ruth. I had to put it on. And then, of course, number 6 was the 33 Gowdy Ruth. The only reason why I have this over this is that this card is just, I just like this card better, just the overall eye appeal of the 33 Gowdy, number 144, better than the 48-49 Leaf card. I'm actually not a huge fan of this particular card, but just the condition of this card is just insane. And the fact that it's Babe Ruth and a 48 card. So anyway, that's my 7 and number 6. Actually, number 8 and number 7, I guess. Number 6, to no surprise, I'm sure you guys expected to see this, the Cap Anson from that Chicago National that I went to in 2019. The big card that I picked up, the Cap Anson. This one is in a PSA 5. It is the most beautiful card I've ever seen from the 20th century, like literally the most, or 19th century, I guess you could say. This card was made in 1888, I believe. So I dare you to find a card from the 1800s that looks as beautiful as this card. So look at that. Like I dare you, go ahead and find one that's nicer looking than that. So, and that's at number 6. At number 5, the Mickey Mantle, the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle. Of course, you know, this to me is the fact that this is even in my collection and that I'm holding it right now is insane. I know I've said that many times on this channel, but 52 Topps Mickey Mantle is one of those cards that I dreamed about as a kid, that I was like, oh, I'll never own that card. And the fact that I own it, even though and the reason why it's not number 1, of course, is the fact that it's, you know, it's got the little crease there. It's got, you know, it's been trimmed. It's been altered. But the fact that I just own this card, which is one of the most iconic cards of all time, and of course, Mickey Mantle, you know, and being a Yankee fan, just so awesome. All right, we are down to number 4. So the Derek Jeter Superfractor. I put this at number 4, of course, 1 of 1. This was a card that I've mentioned before. Houdini is a breaker out there that, you know, I saw him pull this card, and I remember saying to myself, that is one of the most beautiful cards I've ever seen of the captain, Derek Jeter. And when I saw this come up on eBay, I would have paid almost anything for it, because I was just like, I have to own that beautiful Derek Jeter card. This is one of those cards that I will never, unfortunately, you know, if you guys like this card, you will never own it. As long as I live, you will never own it, because we'll never sell it. All right, at number 3 is the Joe DiMaggio, the 39 play ball Joe DiMaggio. This is the card that got me into YouTube. This is the card that got me into vintage. It is a beautiful card of Joe DiMaggio in a 5.5, beautifully centered. But of course, it has that meaning behind it. It's the card that got me into collecting. And so at number 3 for today. At number 2, I'm sure you guys are not too surprised. Had to put the 84 Topps Tiffany Don Mattingly in a PSA 10. To me, this, as a Don Mattingly fan, and I was a diehard Don Mattingly fan, this is the card. You know, like, to me, there's nothing that I could want to own more than the 84 Topps Tiffany Don Mattingly in a PSA 10. There's literally nothing else that I'd want to own. I know there might be some other Don Mattingly obscure cards that maybe are more valuable, but for me, this is the pinnacle. And then, of course, this is the card that I got as a kid. My parents got me this 84 Topps as part of the set, and I was just so excited when I got it. And then to get this, which is like the perfect version of that card in a PSA 10, is why I have it. So that probably should be at number 1. But for today, my number 1 card is going to be this card that I just picked up, the 56 Topps Jackie Robinson in a PSA 8. Look at this card, guys. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And here he is sliding into home. I looked it up. This is Johnny Podres for the Dodgers. 56 Topps, I think, is now my favorite set of all time. It kind of always kind of has been, but this kind of solidified it. I'm like, that card is absolutely beautiful. And here is the back, guys. You know, it is a gray back. I guess it got a PSA. There's a tiny little bit of like discoloration there and this little dot here, but look at the front of this card. I mean, that is a PSA 10 type front of card. I mean, and look at just the shot, like, everything about this card is just magnificent to me. It is perfectly centered. It is, and such a great shot. You know, of course, Jackie Robinson stole home in 1955 against the Yankees in the World Series, and Yogi Berra always says that he was out. And then the cool thing is Randy Arozarena just stole home against the Red Sox recently, and that was the first straight steal of home in the playoffs since the 1955 Jackie Robinson stealing home against the Yankees. So that kind of, I don't know if this was a steal of home, but and you guys, maybe you could give me a little bit of history there. But there it is, guys. I decided to put that as my number one card, my favorite card in my collection. Of course, maybe that'll last for a day or two, but that is my favorite card in my collection as of right now, October 2021. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I am going to have me and a fellow YouTuber over the next week or two are going to do a face-off in terms of who has the better collection, and it's against one of the guys that has an unbelievable collection. So I'm looking forward to doing that collab over the next week or two. So there you have it, guys. That is my recent pickup, and those are my top 20 favorite cards in my collection as of October 2021. Let me know what your thoughts are, and thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe. I will talk to you later. Peace.